Fortnite recently has been pretty bad. In fact, it's been bad for the past year. So I basically wanted to record a commentary video about how I feel, what I think the state of the game is, and just my general consensus of why I personally think the game is not very good right now. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Just before I start this video, I do want to say this is all my own opinion. I personally think that the game is not in a good state. If you're enjoying the game right now, that's cool. I'm not interfering with your opinion because your opinion is your opinion. And also, make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video, and yeah. So I started Fortnite back in Chapter 1 Season 4. What a great season, dude. It had, the map changes like Dusty Divot, Risky Reels, tons of good loot changes, like for example, off the top of my head, the drum gun. I don't know if that's a good change. But, all of those little things like hop rocks and all those different little bits and pieces that just made Fortnite, Fortnite, right? Fast forward to Chapter 4, and for me, that was when Fortnite truly hit its peak. Because the balance between fun and, competitive play or just playing zero build with your mates, it just felt right. And everything about it clicked in a sort of way that no other chapter has since. So I'll get a little bit into it in a second. But before I do, I just want to make sure that you guys understand where I'm coming from, because I've played this game for a long time, and a lot of what is happening recently is purely just because of burnout. So I guess I'll dive into more of my past Fortnite. So let's get into the gameplay mechanics of Chapter 4, and I guess just Chapter 4 as a whole and what I liked about it. One of the reasons I loved Chapter 4 so much was because of its different gameplay mechanics. I'll just list off a couple, like for example, combat caches from Mega, the forecast towers from Last Resort. There's a few other things. Vaults aren't a part of it, because vaults have just always been a part of the game, but you know what I mean, right? Everything felt smooth. Whether it was builds and the way you build, edited, moved around the map with the different movement items, or whether it was zero builds with the different, reality chunks and the different pieces and heights and that kind of thing, because, the different mechanics, it had the perfect mix of skill, and being able to demonstrate that skill. Like for example, in builds, you could box up on a combat cache and have a box fight, and if you won that box fight, that demonstrated skill, right? And just the accessibility in general. Because Fortnite has always been about evolving, but Chapter 4 just pinned the nail with balance and, that kind of thing. Like having the different movement items and mechanics and that kind of thing. Just balance overall and just not overcomplicating things. Chapter 4 also had some of the best weapon balancing in the game's history. If you don't believe me, okay, take for example the Red Eye, right? That gun in today's view would be considered overpowered. It was overpowered in Chapter 4, but you could still, let's say some guy had the Mythic Havoc, a gold Red Eye, and a Kinetic Blade. You can still win a fight with a couple well-placed Maven shots, the Havoc suppressed assault rifle if you've got good tap fire aim, and the ODM gear, right? You could still win fights with that. And that's what balance is, right? It's being able to have multiple types of weapons in the same weapon class and them actually being skillfully used. unlike Chapter 5's Gatekeeper meta for 75% of the chapter, or, Chapter 6's weak shotguns, in which the Sentinel's being vaulted very soon. So, there's gonna be terrible shotguns for Chapter 6 Season 2, which is terrible. But anyway, like I said earlier, whether it was the Red Eye for long range, the Thunder for Season 1, for close combat, and even with some of the mythics, right, there are cases, like, for example, the Overclocked Pulse Rifle, but it's not like a stupid type of broken, it's actually a fun type of broken, where, like, you could actually outrange someone and kill them with a Red Eye. So that provides even more balance, because the Overclocked Pulse Rifle mostly isn't good at range, and you could still kill someone with a Red Eye and win, like, a game. Let's say it's top 2, and that happens. That's what I'm talking about for balance. Whereas now it's just melee, pump shotgun, hollow assault rifle, and since the hollow is also being vaulted very soon, and it's getting replaced with the twin mag assault rifle, so it's just going to be the same thing, right? There's no point in carrying a shotgun, because the shotguns are going to be super weak, and then you're just going to be carrying the twin mag assault rifle, and then a bat, and then some heals. Like, the meta isn't changing and ever evolving like Chapter 4, which just sucks, right? It sucks. I don't know how to explain it, but you should have been there for it, dude. It was amazing. The next thing that I want to talk about for Chapter 4 being so fun was the movement options. The Shockwave Hammer. Amazing. Chef's Kiss, dude. The ODM gear. Another Chef's Kiss. Kinetic Blade. Chef's Kiss. Triple Chef's Kiss, all within 6 months. Less than 6 months. Like 4 months of each other. Absolutely amazing. Like, it all added variety, right? It didn't make fights feel stupidly chaotic, stupidly one-sided, and you actually had decent mobility, and it's not like people are flying around non-stop with bats and being able to, like, super overpoweredly melee kill you. With some of the newer movement items, because they have that melee aspect, it just feels like who can escape the fastest, who can hit you and smack you faster. It's extremely stupid, dude. Like, I don't think you even understand. If you weren't there, you won't understand the incredible levels of stress that you'd have if you didn't have, let's say, the rocket ram in endgame. The other guys with his teammate he's got the rocket ram, and you just end up dead because you don't have a rocket ram, and it's just unfortunate. But it is the same thing nowadays, which I will acknowledge, right? If you didn't have the Typhoon Blade at any point during Chapter 6 Season 1, so last season, you were screwed, because it's just overpowered as crap. Like, it genuinely, stuff like the Chains of Hades, the Typhoon Blade, all of that stuff, it does not belong in Fortnite. Fortnite is a shooting game. It is primarily about shooting. It's not about who can smack people down the fastest. And I will talk about that in a bit, but I just wanted to get the fact across that the movement items for Chapter 4 are chef's kiss. I want to be able to talk about something a bit controversial, which is the quality of collabs. So let's get right into it. Fortnite has always been known for its crossovers. For example, Marvel, Star Wars, all these other collaborations, DC, like those kinds of things, right? But Chapter 4 was, again, chef's kiss when it came to that. Doomslayer for Chapter 4 Season 1, The Witcher for Chapter 4 Season 1, Attack on Titan for Season 2, Spider-Man 2099, and Miles Morales for Chapter 4 Season 2, and a bunch of other ones, obviously. Optimus Prime for Season 3, I'm just listing off like the main ones, right? And then, again, Star Wars for season 4, Jujutsu Kaisen for season 3. Like, so many iconic franchises just joining with Epic, and so many good, amazing mythic items, which one of them is the Spider-Verse shooters, one of them is the ODM gear, which immediately makes Chapter 4 one of the best chapters, if not like a top 2 chapter, probably the best chapter for Collabs. And they actually all felt fun to use because they weren't like jam shoved into your face like a whole Marvel season, but it's like a dookie version of Chapter 2 Season 4 with the supposedly laser item being Bullet Drop, which I'm referencing the Chapter 5 Season 4 Stark Rifle here. That weapon was terrible. It doesn't feel as curated as even Chapter 1 and some parts of Chapter 2. But Chapter 2 Season 5 is sort of where the collabs started getting forced down our throats, like tons of other stuff. And, like I said, this is just my opinion. I think Chapter 4 has the best collabs. At least, some of the best collabs. Chapter 4's map design was also a huge part of why Chapter 4 is my personal favorite chapter, right? Because you have unique POIs, not just copy-pasted mansions like Chapter 5 or copy-pasted Japanese dojos for Chapter 6, which is fine, but, like, it's a bit too much, right? Like, if you're copy-pasting things, it just looks right? And they're also well thought out, too, like Brutal Bastion, the Citadel, Mega City, Steamy Springs, all of those, and then Season 3 and 4, Eclipse the State, Season 3, nothing really. I mean, Creaky Compound was most of the Chapter 4 season, all of the Chapter 4 Season 3 POIs were But anyway, every area had a purpose, and there was always good balance of high ground fights, close quarter action, good loot. If you're a builds player, good materials, and now the map just feels the same. It literally looks the same, it feels the same. It's so it's just so mid, right? And if there's one thing that I hate about modern chapters, it is the Chapter 5 Season 2 Plus movement items / melee items. So let's get into that. If there is one thing that completely kills my enjoyment of Fortnite in 2025, it is undoubtedly number 1 spot melee items. Ever since Chapter 5 Season 2 with the Chains of Hades, these disgustingly overpowered melee items have made fights feel incredibly frustrating, incredibly one-sided, and it literally makes me want to quit the game. I'm not even joking here. Like, one game I'll go in, I'll be like, okay, let's just land it, for example, let's say this season I'll land at Crime City. And then one guy gets a bat off the ground as floor loot. I get some sort of stupid assault rifle, the new assault rifle. And I immediately die because he can just charge up his bat, like pre-charge up his bat and swing at me, hit me for 90. I can't do anything because I'm trying to spray this uncontrollable weapon. And then he just
sing, 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 sing. Why is that in the game? Sing, sing.
Why do people think this is okay? It's disgusting because it makes it feel like skill has just vanished. It's jumped out the window. It's gone, never to be seen again. And you literally get one shot by these. Like, if you're on top of a mountain, another guy's on top of the mountain, he has a bat, you have a bat, but you're not using it for melee. The kid with the bat, pre-charge up, swing the bat, you go flying off, and if you don't somehow place the most perfect shockwave in the world, or have some sort of item that prevents you from taking fall damage, which there aren't even that many of, you're dead. You are dead. You can't, sprint through the air unless you've already done that, and you charge up your bat and you get lucky. But literally, it's just getting one shot off a mountain, spammed, maneuvered. It's disgusting. It doesn't feel fair, because it just makes me want to quit the game every time I run into one of these players with the bat, or with the Typhoon Blade, or with the Nitrofit. It's the same. They're just reskins of each other. They're literally copy-pasted reskins of each other that do nothing to help the game. And it's like Fortnite. Half of Fortnite is about shooting, half of Fortnite is about innovation. It's not a 33% split between, innovation, shooting and building, and then melee items being the most overpowered thing in the game. And now, it's so stupid, because melee weapons have turned fights into chaotic messes that aren't fun, that completely ruin the game, and make me want to quit. Another thing that's super minimal, but I still think it's worth talking about, is the just general art direction of Fortnite, because back in Chapter 5, Epic changed to, the Chapter 5 TODM. If you don't know what TODM means, it simply means Time of Day Manager, so it's basically the skybox. It is not the graphics, it is a skybox. So think of Chapter 1's look, that's the skybox. There is, certain elements, but that are part of the graphics, but that's not, I guess you could just call it, night and day system. But anyway, Chapter 4 had this perfect blend of realism and looking amazing with, the nanite technologies for Chapter 4 and the Lumen technology with the Unreal Engine 5.1 update, and the classic Fortnite style, and just looking absolutely stunning at day and then looking absolutely stunning at night. Things like the colors, they popped. The environments felt well designed. Yes. Overall, the game, did it look great? Yes. But with Chapter 5, it got terrible. It went more realistic. And it just became this whole mess that everyone was wanting Chapter 1 or Chapter 4 graphics back. And I can understand that. I prefer the Chapter 1 and 4 graphics. I actually prefer the Chapter 4 graphics most. I don't mind the Chapter 1 art style and the skybox. But yeah, Chapter 6 is better than Chapter 5 when it comes to looks, but it's still not there yet. Which is okay, but if Epic is continuously moving away from that cartoony style, which they have been, it's not good. Probably the worst part about Fortnite is its community. This community is the biggest bunch of crybabies I have ever seen, and I don't care if, flame me in the comments all you want, I don't care, but stop crying for this to come back and for that to come back. The reason Epic changes maps and changes chapters is to show off the capabilities of Unreal Engine, and to also just show us what, the game is evolving, right? Chapter 1, 2, and 3 didn't have augments. Chapter 4 had augments. Chapter 5 was supposed to have augments, but they scrapped it. So there, things like that. And people want augments back. I want augments back. That's an okay thing to want back. But as soon as you go into as soon as you request for the Typhoon Blade to come back, and Chapter 5 Season 1 was amazing, and then all the I'm okay with you thinking Chapter 5 Season 1 was amazing, but I personally don't think and there's edits going around of it as well, and if you go back a year, everybody hated Chapter 5 Season 1. There was not one person who liked the bullet drop. There was not one person who came to Chapter 5 Season 1 from Chapter 4 Season OG and said, this is an upgrade. Nobody asked for Bullet Drop. Nobody asked for the European copy-pasted POIs across the map. And there's other parts of the community that make me want to eat insects, like the OG community. There's two types of OGs. There's the original players who started playing in Chapter 1, and the OGs, who are basically just kids inheriting their brother's or sister's account and being like, oh hey, I'm OG now. And they'll be like, this, that, you suck, we're gatekeeping stuff, like, cringe. Okay, I have Calamity, which is a Chapter 1 Season 6 skin, and I would not care if Calamity returned to the item shop. We didn't get Black Knight, which is unfortunate. I would have, riled up some celebrations, but I think Epic at this point is just too scared to upset the community. You can't please everyone, Epic. It's impossible. You will never be able to please one side of the community, which is why, the casuals in Chapter 1 Season 5 absolutely loved the compact SMG, which is basically the P90, the original P90. And then, just before that, everyone was enjoying the drum gun. And then, the regular submachine gun from Season 5, sorry. And everyone that was actually skilled hated that. Things like that, it's just ultra cringe. Grow up. If you're 20 years old playing this game, cool, good for you. If you're 20 years old and playing this game and complaining about keeping your OG skins, respectfully get off the game and go work a job. So that's about it for me. I hope you enjoyed this kind of long commentary video. I'm planning to do more of these in the future. But yeah, if you did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel to see more of my uploads. And if you do want to join my Discord server and any of my socials, they are linked down below. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, rest of your month. Just enjoy it, because Fortnite's not going to be here forever. So play it as much as you can, enjoy the seasons as much as you can, and yeah, hope you have a great day, and peace.